Hello, I'm LJ. I have a body now. Yep. Lost Planet! Lost Planet is a third-person shooter set on an alien planet developed by Capcom. Capcom is one of my favorite devs of all time. I grew up with Mega Man and Resident Evil, and they've made a ton of great indie titles such as Street Fighter and Devil May Cry. But just like with many developers, Capcom has its own share of retired series, never to be seen again in the bowels of gaming hell. Lost Planet is one of those series. To me, Lost Planet is one of those games I saw on the game store shelves but never touched for some reason. I was probably too busy playing Avalanche 2 on funnygames.biz. That box art with the guy standing in the snow has stuck with me throughout the years, and I finally played it. Let's see if it's good. The game starts with Wayne, a member of the military, and he switched to snow pirates later on, I don't fucking know, on a mission to do some shit. When all of a sudden alien beings called the Akrid attacks his team and a giant one called Green Eye killed his father. The gameplay is standard third-person shooting affair. You got a variety of guns to choose from along with different types of grenades. You can control vital suits or VS's. They're basically mechs mounted with heavy weapons that do heavy damage. You're gonna need them too because the highlight of this game is the giant akrid fights. Man, this is as close to a sci-fi Monster Hunter game as you can get. You know, just without the grinding and crafting. It's a simple game structure-wise. Go do a mission, fight a boss, then watch a cutscene. Rinse and repeat. It reminds me of the simple days of level-based video games instead of the abundance of ones with unnecessary open worlds of today. The graphics are good still, as long as you don't zoom in or some shit. The snow is pretty and the acrids shine with their orange bug bodies. The environments get a bit repetitive though. There's a bunch of snow with some industrial areas and labs, and that's all. The akrid designs are cool and the characters are so anime looking. You got Edge Boy Wayne, Cool Dude Yuri, Dreadlock Boy Rick, his sister Luca. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Basil. That crazy dude with the weird hair is pretty wild, but of course, he's not the main villain, which was a missed opportunity. It's Jimmy Neutron instead. The game uses the then new MT Framework engine, and it's as smooth as lubed anus. Seriously, all MT Framework games run so well. It sets the standard of what a PC port of a game should be. It's better optimized than most modern Japanese titles, and this was released back in 2006. Combat is pretty standard as far as shooters go, but the movement is a bit stiff. It feels like Monster Hunter with guns. I think they were going for that feel, but it could have made the gameplay smoother and faster. Wayne jogs through the whole game and it feels way too slow for an action game like this. Adding a sprint, making it so you can use the hook shot when jumping, and making more mobile would have been awesome. The health system is different. There are no health pickups. Instead, when health drains T energy, the orange blobs you get by killing acrids and activating these data post things automatically kick in and restore it. T energy also powers energy weapons and VS's too, so be sure to use it wisely. The levels are fine, but I found myself getting lost sometimes. There are things blocking the way occasionally that looks like you can't progress through, but you can shoot through or climb above. Shooting when crouching can obstruct your view sometimes, so that can be a bit annoying. Small issues, nothing huge. The boss fights are tits. They usually involve enemy VS's or huge acrids. The akrid fights are my favorite. They usually have a gimmick or puzzle element to them. It could take a minute to figure shit out, but once you do, you go blasting at them hard, shooting off their limbs, and you can even go inside one of them. I really like these. Humanity left Earth to find a new home on the planet EDN3, but it's all snowy and shit, so they want to terraform it. The acrids are fucking shit up, and an evil company called Nevik wants to blow up the planet and harvest the acrids for T energy instead of terraforming. The focus is on Wayne, whose dad gets killed by Big Akrid and swears to take revenge until he finds out that it's actually someone at Nevik who killed his dad, and now he wants to destroy Nevik and stop them from blowing up the planet. Or some shit like that. This is a 5-hour game, so the characters get as much development as a 12-episode action anime series, which is not much. Basically, kill the big monsters, kill the badmen, and save the planet. Lost Planet is simple fun. The story is generic sci-fi shit, but the setting and designs are pretty interesting. The combat is a bit stiff, but the bosses are fun to fight, and the VS's are very cool. This is the simple days of gaming where shooting through monsters and seeing cool cutscenes was the peak of gaming, so if you want a simple fun time, get this one on a sale. Alright, since this game is a bit short, I'll also take a look at the sequel. Lost Planet 2 was released in 2010 and is set 10 years after the events of the first game. You play as a member from each of the different factions in the game. Besides Nevik and Snow Pirates, there's some new ones formed after the terraforming of EDN 3, like Jungle Pirates or those desert punk dudes. Every episode features a new faction, except for the final one, with a specific objective to complete. The graphics are just as good as the first one, but it looks way better because there are more environments to play through, and the color palette is way more varied. It's a pretty game, but yeah, just don't look too closely or you'll see blurry pixely textures. The gameplay is a lot more faster and smoother than the first game. It feels more fun to play overall. There's a dedicated dodge button now, which is useful. T-energy doesn't get used up as fast. Movement is less stiff. It's streamlined in the best way possible. The main difference is this game is more co-op focused now. There are levels where you have to hold two positions at once or operate a giant weapon to kill an akrid, so teamwork is mandatory to succeed. I only played in single player because I don't have any friends who has this game, so some sections were more of a hassle to finish than others. For the best experience, get some friends, it's more fun that way. There's also a bunch of cosmetics you can unlock through the game that can be used in multiplayer, so there's that too if you're into it. Oh, and there are quick time events now. Why though? The boss fights are shit. Just kidding, they're still awesome to fight. They're bigger than ever and very satisfying to take down. There are far less VS boss fights now, which is fine by me since I think they were the least engaging ones in the last game. Overall bosses are still epic, dude. Lol, LMAO bro. The story again is pretty straightforward. Nevik is up to no good again and there's this huge blob thing growing on the planet. Kill them before they kill you. You play as different factions in the game, they're all different personality and behavior wise. Like the ex-Nevik soldiers are professional while the fight junkies are lunatics who steal and kill for fun. Even though they're distinct, none of the characters are particularly memorable. I guess you could say there's a feeling of bonding after killing shit together for 10 hours. Nah, that's bullshit. The story makes way more sense when you play with friends. There may not be any character development for the in-game characters, but this will be a bonding experience with your friends as you shoot bitches while making very offensive jokes and laughing your way through victory using teamwork and jolly cooperation. This is a true co-op game. As you can tell, I enjoy this game. There's a big problem though. Lost Planet 2 doesn't run too well, or even at all on modern PCs. I had to limit the amount of CPU cores the game uses and disable games with Windows Live before I can properly boot it. And even then, there were a lot of crashes. When I finished a chapter and pressed save and exit menu, it crashed. When I pop a dude, it crashed. When I finish the final chapter and the very last cutscene starts playing, it crashed. It feels like it's being held together by ancient semen mixed with Astroglide, which is a shame. Lost Planet 2 is a great sequel that does everything the previous game did but better. Shooting things is fun, the boss fights are dope, and everything is better with a friend or three. But that said, it's not for everyone. If you're looking for something to play on game night with some friends, go for it. If you can get it working, it's a blast. If you're a loner like me, it's still fun, but be aware there are some levels that aren't optimized for single player. Anyway, fun game, but it's got some shit to be taken care of before playing. This is one of those series that Capcom should bring back for a remaster and then a reboot. Lost Planet has a lot of potential and it's unique and cool, and I like video games. Yep. Thanks for watching. Next time I'll be looking at Lost Planet 3, the one that supposedly killed the whole series. Alright, stay safe, don't get fucked, bye.